What's good, family? It's your boy Taye Uhuru. You're tuned in to the Chord Podcast where creativity lives. Make sure y'all tune in every week for a new episode and a new guest.
Alright, bro. What up, everybody? It's the Chordroom. Happy to be in the place once again with my brother TRM.
Yes, sir.
That's TRM, the super heavyweight producer. I'm your boy Teno the Great, and man, we got another banging interview, man. I'm happy. I love interviews, man, because I know, when I interview people, it's like you're amongst greatness. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all don't even know it. Like,
sir.
And it's always wonderful to get to know new people, get to know brothers and sisters out there just doing great things. And you just, sometimes you get caught up in your bubble and you don't even get a chance to see people out there on the grind, out there just discovering the world. Today we got a brother that's been around the world, man. Like he's traveled so many places, bro. Like, I was reading his bio. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Let me tell y'all. Like he like when I was reading this, I'm like, man, like this is crazy. Like the man has visited 45 states, 60 countries. I can't remember how many states I visited.
I visited 45. I know that for sure.
Right. I'm a New Yorker, man. Like New Yorkers normally stay in the New York bubble. I've been in North Carolina. I've been to Georgia, probably Vegas. Stuff like that. But man, this brother, he inspired me to even reading that bio that he sent me. Like he inspired me to be like, man, like we gotta see our world, man. Especially because as Black people, we don't know who we are, and
Definitely.
There's so many places that we can go to discover our roots, and really bond with people that we would never bonded before. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to delay the introduction any longer, man. I want to introduce y'all to the brother Taye Uhuru. That's right.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Peace, family. All is well. I want to thank y'all so much. I truly appreciate y'all, even allowing me to come on y'all platform.
Listen.
Definitely.
The pleasure is ours, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's just like we're honored just to have you here, man, because it's definitely having people with a worldwide perspective like that helps us to grow as people as well. So, I mean, kudos to you, man, for doing your thing and what all that you're doing.
Thank you.
No problem, man. Listen, see, the Chordroom is where talent lives, man. Like this is where it resides. And anyone out there who has a talent, is going through something that's a unique individual, they're all welcome here. Every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be famous. You ain't got to be rich. You just got to have passion for what you do. And if you want to display it, this is the place to display it. You know what I'm saying? So we happy to be happy to have you on the show, man. So I'm very excited about this interview because I really wanted to get to know you. And I'm like, man, like this guy who's seen, so many places, been in so many, spaces in this world. Like, where is he from? Like, where is his family from? Like, tell us about yourself, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Born and raised in Ohio. I'm a world traveler, author, historian, genealogist, musician. I try to give back socially to the community abroad, at home. I do a lot of different things. Most definitely. I've been blessed with the opportunity. I lived in the Dominican Republic. I lived in Africa for a while. I lived in Brazil, but I'm from Ohio for sure.
Shout out to Ohio, man.
Definitely.
What's that? Buckeyes? What's that?
Yeah, State Buckeyes. Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, they have the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Man, like that's a big sports place. So born in Cleveland, what was it like for you growing up in Cleveland?
I mean, for the most part, my childhood was cool, but Cleveland is a rough place, like any other place. New York, Detroit, Baltimore, New Orleans. Being born in the '80s and seeing a lot of things. But as far as my actual household, my childhood was pretty cool. I lived in the inner city. I lived in the suburbs, so we seen some good times and some bad times. But I was reinforced and I had a foundation. You know what I'm saying? My great grandfather, he was a follower of Marcus Garvey. He moved to Cleveland in the 1920s. You know what I'm saying? He joined the UNIA, and my uncle, my grandmother's son, he started his own Black nationalist organization in the 1960s. You know what I'm saying? So my family has a rich history of Black empowerment and Black excellence, and just trying to liberate Black people and make things better. So I always had a love for history, African culture and Black people, from a global perspective.
He mentioned some things, man. He mentioned the '80s.
He's mentioned Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
Crack. Listen, the crack era.
Definitely.
Right? That was that people don't understand. I don't think only a few, not a few people, but a lot of people understand when you talk about the '80s and the crack era. That's a very tough era to grow up in. Poison. Our communities were poisoned and flooded with crack, cocaine. It was tough. It was tough. And you mentioned, like I said, Marcus, like your family member was a follower of Marcus Garvey, man. Like what?
Yeah.
So with all of that, we got the '80s, we got, just your mindset of love for Black people. How was that growing up in that era? You know what I'm saying? Like just, how were you able to function and still keep that mentality? Because there's a lot of people who were Black Panthers, who were on the front line and didn't make it. You understand what I'm saying? Through that era. So tell me about like how did you as a young man work through that, and how did your family? How was that for you?
Like I said, it would reinforce my confidence, my self-esteem by letting us know that we had great, strong Black men in the family. But like I said, once we got outside the house, you would see things, negative things, the drugs, the killings, and the violence and different things like that. So it wasn't always easy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it just gave me a sense of purpose, you know what I'm saying? My mom, she used to drive the bus. She was a bus driver. She drove for Greyhound. So she would take us to places like New York and Chicago and Cincinnati and
Definitely.
Detroit. So yeah, so at a young age, I seen different areas, and I just developed a love for culture and learning about different places and different things, where a lot of my other friends, they wasn't really exposed to that. So they never left the hood. They never left the city. They never really seen anything outside of, what they saw every day. You know what I'm saying? I had older brothers. I had cousins that lived with us. They was like older brothers, you know what I'm saying? My father, they used to play music all the time. So I was introduced to hip hop at, my whole life. I was able to listen to Boogie Down Productions and Rakim and KRS-One and Ice Cube. And ever
Nice.
since I was a baby, but like I say, my friends, they parents didn't really let them listen to stuff like that because they weren't old enough, you know what I'm saying? But I just was blessed and fortunate, you know what I'm saying?
Go,
That's dope.
I got so many questions, man. Go ahead.
That's dope, man. That is dope. So with that, I know with those huge influences of being able to see that, that you have people in your family that's connected to some major players in the Black movement growing up. I know that that connection, I'm sure that led to going back to Africa. What led you to be considered as a world traveler, man? What pushed you to want to see just the rest of the world?
Well, like I said, my mom, she started me off, you know what I'm saying, with that. I give the credit to her for sure. But once I got old enough, when I was 18, I started doing my own road trips and going to different cities. I'm a musician, I'm an MC, so we would do shows in different cities. We would pass out our CDs and network. and do different things. And I just kept wanting to go to more places. You know what I'm saying? I wrote down little cities like, oh, I want to go to Chicago, I want to go to Detroit, we go to Indianapolis, Louisville. You know, we just kept going further and further out. And then, you know, by the time I went to different states, once I went to the West Coast, the East Coast, down south, I wanted to start reaching out to other countries. And this was around 2010 when I first got my passport. So this was like around MySpace. So now I was in a position where I could message people in Africa, I could message people in Brazil, I could message people in Europe, and they got rappers out there, and they could send me beats, and we could email verses. So you
That's
know, it was
dope.
just, you know, and I would eventually go meet these people, you know, and perform in different countries and record music videos and, you know, do stuff like that. So it was always motivated.
Speaking of music videos, man, I seen some of your stuff on your site, man. You definitely got some skills, and I'm definitely digging your music, man. Definitely
Well,
digging your
thank you. I
music.
appreciate that.
You got some lyrics, man.
Oh,
got some
Thank you. Thank
lyricism.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you my favorites. What did I have here, man? My favorites is I know the first one is legendary.
Yeah, that's mine,
that.
definitely.
And the revolutionaries go to heaven. The revolutionaries go to heaven. I love that one. And you record. That's like what, 7 years old, something like that.
Which one?
Do revolutionaries go to heaven?
No, I just recorded that. I was
Really?
living in South Africa in 2020. I recorded that during the pandemic, during the lockdown.
Ooh.
That thing is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick, man. Speaking of which, since you mentioned the pandemic, I've been meaning to ask you also, with everything going on, how has that affected your mode of traveling back and forth? Like, were you outside of the country for majority of the shutdown of the pandemic, or were you still able to like travel back and forth freely, or whatnot?
Yeah, it's definitely been affected, man. I think we all done felt it one way or the other. So
Yeah.
the majority of 2020, I was in Africa. I was living in
Okay.
South Africa. I was in
Dope.
Johannesburg. But I have been able to travel since the initial shutdown. So I went to Ethiopia for a few months. I came back to the United States. Then I went to Egypt. I went to Dubai, and then I'm supposed to be going back to Africa in June. You know, so I have still been able to move around. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
you got
dope.
to have a COVID test. You got to have negative results. It's a little bit more, you know, tedious process now.
Mm. How many passports do you have, bro?
Man, I just got one. Now, I mean, I got old ones. I filled them up.
I was saying,
You
like,
know, they expire and
That's
stuff.
dope.
but how many passports have you had?
I got two. I get it because you could get different ones. I got the big book. Most people just get the regular book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's what I'm used to having, just like the regular book, man. Because
yeah.
I didn't start like I joined the military and I was able to travel a little bit, more, but I didn't start off traveling until like the early part of 2000s. That was when me and my wife was traveling, man, and we had a chance to go like to Europe and stuff like that. But it's definitely a different experience. But yeah, I've never been able to fill up my book all the way, dude. Not all the way.
Yeah.
I got through most of it. I got through a good chunk of it, but I've
Oh,
never been
that's
able to fill it
cool.
up.
See, at least you got started, man. But yeah, the
Right.
little ones, I'll be filling them up too quick. So I had to get the big one. It's like extra 50 or 30 pages or something.
Dang,
Uh,
that's dope, man. That's dope for real.
So hip hop, right? What's that? Can you remember that time when you fell in love with hip hop? Like, what was that? What was that like for you?
I guess it's two parts to it. Like I said, when hip hop always been around, you know, I just remember, you know, like I'm saying, like I'm like 2, 3, 4. So I'm looking at albums. So the albums used to blow me away, like the Slick Rick cover or the Boogie Down for the Criminal Minded cover. Like I remember looking at
We
them.
were just talking about
So,
that earlier.
yeah, so they was just as big as me. You know what I'm saying? I remember that digging through the records and stuff. I'm glad that I got to experience that a little bit. But I think when Bone Thugs and Harmony came out, then it was like, oh, well, okay, now
Hometown.
that it was somebody from where we from, and they kind of
Right.
talking about stuff that we could kind of relate to as far as, you know, certain streets or certain parts of town. And that made it like, wow, you know, we can really rap now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
Hey, I want to share something with you real quick, bro. I just want to, because we all are, a lot of times we're spread out and we in different areas. So so you're from Cleveland, right? So you don't really, you may be in Cleveland, but you might not know how Bone Thugs affected other places, right? Because you can imagine, like, you thinking like, man, this is a Cleveland thing. but ain't nobody really, nobody really may not be really messing with it. So I'm from Hempstead, right, in New York. It's on Long Island. Right?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I remember when Bone Thugs came out. That thing was like, it spread, bro. Like, first of all, Bone ain't nothing like Bone Thugs to this day.
Right.
I mean, you have to twist it, but Bone Thugs is special. That thing is special. Like they cadence, the way they rap. So it was this guy that used to carry this. Man, it was like the Radio Raheem of the neighborhood. There was not one time that you saw him and he was not playing Bone Thugs, bro. Like,
wow.
That thing was like the same album. But I mean, he listened to it every day. And every time, it wasn't not one time that he did not listen to that. Like, I mean, bro, it was so big, man. I don't know if I even have the words to express how big Bone Thugs was in my neighborhood, man. And to this day, like I said, there's nothing like Bone Thugs. There's nothing, that could even be compared. And, I don't know. I'm sure they know it, but it's cool to talk to people like you that's from the town, and understand that people, and this because you travel a lot, and you notice that music is a universal language. We can tap in. We may not even share the same, like the dialect may not be there, but when you turn that music on, be on the same frequency. Always, so but Bone Thugs was very special to my neighborhood, man. Shout out to them, man. I know a guy, he's a subscriber now. Let me tell you something. He is a Bone Thugs. Shout out to David. Shout out to David. He's a Bone Thugs fanatic. Right. He texted me a month or two ago a new Crazy Bone song. Like it was the biggest thing to him, it's the biggest thing in the world. When anything new Bone come out,
right.
Oh, he on it. He is, and I mean that's his favorite group. That's his favorite group of all time. Of all time. Shout out to David. Like he's never met anybody that's a fanatic like that of Bone. But yeah, Bone Thugs is special. But so hip hop for you, right? So we were just talking about Criminal Minded. I was pointing out to Trem that I call him Trem. His name, the Renaissance Man, TRM. That's his name. I was pointing out to him that, so you look at the Criminal Minded. First of all, records for you youngers out there is pieces of art. Vinyl is pieces of art. You look at these album covers. Y'all in the digital era, but there's nothing like holding and looking at a cover.
To go through the artwork and just to be like absorbed in that stuff, to see who the credits, the artwork, the pictures, everything coming together. It's just even the smell of the whole package.
The whole experience.
Right. Yeah, you can't get that. Nope.
And I was pointing out to him how, the show Criminal Minds?
Yeah, I heard of it. I haven't really watched it.
So
it's a good show.
It's a TV show, right?
Yeah.
They took, so the font and the look of the Criminal Minded album cover is in a basic but very distinctive font.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like I seen hats that has the Criminal Minded logo on it, but it says something else. They took that same criminal part, but actually flipped it. Slightly different font.
Right.
But they stole it.
Right, but you know what it is?
Bro, you know what? I ain't gonna go there, but I'm just saying, these people steal stuff, and what they do, they flip it because it's familiar. So they flip it. So now we just got something similar, but you recognize it somehow, some way, And but I was like, man, but anyway, so yeah. So you said Criminal Mind, you seen the album covers. All right, so when did you start rapping? When did you start writing?
Maybe like in 5th or 6th grade. That's when I first started writing my first raps. But it was just for fun, just to make people laugh or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe like around high school, that's when I was able to like record and write songs and hooks and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't really battle or freestyle or nothing like that. I was always like on the like a poetry side. Like if you listen to my Do Revolutionaries Go to Heaven, something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's when it got kind of serious, maybe like in high school, composing songs and stuff like that.
Listen, the man said he like the ghost of Machiavelli. For February. I'm just saying. I thought that was the hardest bar on there. That's the same, right? Listen to a few of them. That's the same song, right?
Yeah, that's legendary.
Okay. I was like, yo, that's hard. That was hard.
Just FYI, man, the lyricists who are really like deep into rapping, like that are poets, to me, they always shine and are come out to be some of like the best lyricists and hip hop MCs. That's just me personally. Shout out to, of course, my boy Andre 3000, who's considered a poet himself. So definitely.
Oh yeah, big shout out to Andre.
Yes, sir.
So you start rapping. Your first rap?
Nah, man. Nah. It's hard for me to remember raps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really, because once I got it, like, I still write raps like on paper and notebooks and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We were just talking about that. Now, you know what? I want to get to another topic a little later. We'll get to know you a little bit more. But I want to talk to you about something, and I'm going to mention that. What you just said in a minute. So, how was the music grind for you? Like, what does that look like for you now? Like, is it tough out there? I know you're independent. Like, what is that day-to-day look like for you as far as promoting your music?
Man, it's tough right now because you can't really do shows. You can't really interact with people. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know how it's gonna look. Once this is all over with. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, when I first got out there, when I was out of high school, we pressed up our own CDs. We bought our own cases and covers, and we sold them out the trunk. So we could stand outside the club, we could stand outside the liquor store, the corner store, and pass them out, sell them. Perform, do shows and different things. But it's like right now, even with the radio or the a lot of the podcasts, it's like so much stuff is just so digital right now. So I'm trying to really find myself all over again because I want to keep making. I'm gonna keep making music because I just love to make music. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed to go to studios all over the world and meet some dope artists, man. So that's really what's driving me.
It's dope, man.
That's a beautiful. You gotta understand. That's a beautiful thing, though, to rediscover yourself again, reinvent yourself again. Man. That's a beautiful thing to happen. Even me and Trev going through that. We that's like that's the butterfly in the cocoon, situation where people just being rebirthed again, and even through this. You know what I'm saying? But Trev, please go ahead, bro, because I got questions.
You see yourself more so as a musician more, or just a world traveler? How does that measure up to you?
Man, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Music
is gonna always be there. You know what I'm saying? And under any circumstances, if I'm in a cell and I ain't got a paper or a pencil, I can do music. I could bang with my hand and clap and think of rhymes in my head. I may not always be able to get around and travel, so I'm gonna go with music. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. So do you I know you said you're a lyricist. So do you produce also? Are you a producer as well, man?
No, not at this time. I was like early on. I was trying to get into making beats and doing different things, but I just really like to write, man. Just write and record.
That's right. You gotta come holler at your boy, man.
Yeah,
come holler at your boy. Yeah.
Yeah, he a producer, man. Shout out to
Old
Yeah, definitely. We got an artist out right now, O Muggs. Actually, y'all two might be on the same wavelength, man. O Muggs, Dark Ages, and streaming right now. You can, you can go on there and look at it, listen to it rather. See what you let us know what you think. I really want to know what you think.
Yeah,
or Dark Ages.
That's one that I did. I produced the whole thing for him. But yeah, man, definitely.
Wow,
yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, send me the link, and I'll definitely check them out. I'm always looking for something new to check out.
Oh yeah,
yes, sir.
O Muggs been doing it for a while, man. And, You know, we are in that same boat too, where we trying to figure out different ways to, you know, get music out there, get it noticed. The one thing about the type of music that you write and you know Muggs as well is that it's needed. It's oxygen, man. It's you know it's a lot of things to young people. It's never want to die.
Yeah.
And you know, like right now, you know, the industry is flooded with disposable rap, and you know, it's like giving kids a lot of sugar, no vegetables. So they had no meat. You know, it's just a lot of sugar, and these kids don't have an opportunity because it's so flooded. They don't have an opportunity to get balanced music.
Get some substance.
Yeah,
You don't have a
Right,
chance to
like
get
a
any substance. Yeah, no substance at all. It's just like nothing to stick to your bones.
right.
Yeah, it kind of sound to me. It kind of sound the same. Like, say for example, if you had Outkast on the radio, then you had Bone on the radio, then you had Wu-Tang on the radio.
Mhm.
They all sound completely different. If you
Yes,
took
they do.
Bone and put them on a Wu-Tang beat, you put Outkast on the Bone beat, it'd be a whole nother song. But now it's just like a continuation of the same song, the same cadence,
Exactly.
the same topic, the same beat,
Yep.
everything.
It's bad.
Exactly.
It's bad.
Saying everything. So yeah, so that's definitely different, man. So that's why, like, I feel like when you got music that has a message and music that stands for something, I think that's something that is always going to be needed in hip hop, no matter what genre, no matter what part of hip hop or what time frame in hip hop you go, you always need something where the music is speaking about something. It's telling you about something. Of course, we all would like to have a good time or whatever, man. But at the end of it, you got to have something that says something, that explains, you know, something more in depth about who you are, that gives you something that you can take away from. And so that's why I always feel that music that you know you make that matters, it'll never go away. It'll never die.
That's for sure. I mean,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I mean, let me ask you this though. I want you to, if you can, man, give us a glimpse into like these studios that you're in when you're in these different countries, right? Because you know, I can only imagine. Obviously, I know the studio vibes in the United States, but tell me about, you know, some of your experiences recording with a lot of these artists.
Oh man, they all been great experiences, man. I mean, when I say studios, some of them be makeshift studios. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just the regular setup, and then some of them be like real professional studios. You know, so it varies. But you know, long as we get to record and put the music down, that's what's the most important, though, for real.
Any particular artists that you can think of that off the top, like the first thing when you think about an artist that you've recorded with, what's the first person that comes to your mind?
Oh, my bro in South Africa, CB. His rap name is No Ghost. We did a lot of songs together and stuff like
Oh,
that. But he's mostly underground artists. You know, they not like major artists, but
of
you know
course,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
definitely, yeah. I think feel like that's where you'll find like the true music that you know that speaks to you when you go to like underground and you actually start digging through. It's like digging through the crates.
Yeah, yeah. You meet a lot of cool, talented people, man. And then, like you say,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they rap in their native language, or
Right.
they may rap in English or Spanish or
Oh,
Portuguese, all type of stuff. But it hit though. You know, you can feel it.
And that really, and that's what it is, and that's what the core room is here for. You know, we here to bring light to the underground artists, those, you know, coming up. You know, I mean everybody really, but there's a certain group of people that pretty much been pushed out of hip hop, you know, or not even let in. You know, so we gotta find a way to get to the point that, you know, they here, but you know, the industry is virtual now for the most part. So there's an opportunity for everybody. But you know, when it comes to, because I still believe. What do you think? You think radio is still a thing? You know, like people want to get on the radio, or is it just not something that people, you know, aspire to do anymore?
I don't know, man. It's like since the COVID it's unclear to me, to be honest with you. I really don't know, because it's like everything is going, like you say, virtual and online. A lot of stuff is phasing out, even like with the TVs, with the cable and stuff.
Right.
Like people got all these fire sticks and
Right.
different things going on. So I think we just going through that period where things is changing. So it'll be interesting to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because listen, them cable companies, y'all cable companies in trouble.
Definitely.
Y'all in trouble, man, because you can go get a Hulu, you get
Right.
you a Netflix,
Amazon Prime.
yeah, you listen, you can go get
You get your whole thing set up right at your house
and cut your cable bill in half, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
You can even watch, if you want to watch the news, you can just watch the news on the internet. You good.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good to go.
it's gonna be interesting to see how, like you said, how it all plays out when all is said and done. Because I think my wife just said like banks are closing. You know, like they're going virtual too.
Yeah, the brick and mortar banks are just their brick and mortar banks are becoming no more. So it's more so digital banks you got where you can do all your stuff online. So that's appealing to more people now.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to go into banks anymore. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, how everything is, you know, on the other side of this, how this is gonna look. But tell us about Afro Set. Afro Set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is that? Tell us about it.
Okay, the Afro Set, that's my first book. Afro is short for African. This group was formed in the 1960s. It was a Black Power organization. And my uncle, my mom's brother, he was the co-founder of the Afro Set. So basically, this group was at the forefront of reintroducing Black people in Cleveland to like African history, African culture, African language, African fashion, African artwork and music and different things like that. So they would open up these shops. They were independently funded. So the members, they would make dashikis and dresses and earrings and necklaces and pottery and paintings, and they would sell them, to generate money. But they had a lot of social programs, free breakfast, free lunch. They had a lot of classes on drug awareness, health and wellness, diabetes, economics. They taught people how to speak Swahili. They opened up a theater, and they would do plays, poetry readings, musical performances. They would teach the kids how to play the African drums. They advocated self-defense. So they would go to a farm and they would do target practice with the rifles and the guns. They would practice with the machetes, sticks, a lot of like military drills, a lot of community policing. So like when people came in the community, when they were selling drugs, snatching purses, pimping, they would run them out physically. When the police came into the community and they were harassing people, they would confront them. So it's a very exciting book. It's a lot of riots and shootouts and explosions and rebellions, a lot of things that happen in the city of Cleveland that a lot of people don't know about.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Like that's like for real, like I love to hear stuff like that. That it reminds me, like stuff that used to go on during the Black Panther times, the stuff like the arts that you was explaining reminds me a lot of New York, how we, how we were, Africa. Some of the people who've instilled a lot of the stuff come from that type of background, from the 60s, where they was exposing us to, our culture and the things that I didn't know, man. So that I'm actually, listen, everybody go get that book, Afro Set. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get me one either this week or next week. I promise you that.
Where can people go and purchase your book at, man? Is it like directly through your site, or is it available on other sites or anything?
I'm doing it all independently, like my music. So I got a website, campcleveland.org. So they got my music on there. My book is on there. I do a lot of what they call it, like e-commerce. Like when I go to different countries, I bring back different products: shea butter, black soap, dashikis, paintings, artwork. And then, I do tours to Africa, taking middle school students, high school students, college kids, So
that's dope.
Have you clocked in, or have you punched the clock ever?
Say that again.
Have you punched the clock ever? Like, have
Or
you?
you saying do I work? Do I have like a regular 9 to 5? It's been a while, man. I ain't had like a job since like 2000, probably like 2009. That was the last time I had like a
Oh,
40-hour a week, get up in the morning job.
I
You know
envy
what I'm
you,
saying?
brother. I envy you.
I
Not
gotta,
envy. That's a one word. You're my
yeah,
inspiration.
yeah. I gotta ask,
No, it's
man.
all
How did you free yourself, dude?
good. Just trying different investments. I tried everything, man, like mutual funds and
Mm,
stocks and bonds and CDs and a couple other things. But I think the most significant thing that worked for me was investing in real estate, buying rental properties. I would
that's
say
dope.
probably like around the time when George Bush was in office and Obama was coming in, it was like a mortgage crisis and a lot of people lost their homes, unfortunately. But in Cleveland, we had a lot of houses that got foreclosed and they got abandoned and they got boarded up. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to invest and buy a couple of houses and then, fix them up and rent them out.
See, that's dope. That right there, that's a story that a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, need to hear. And ways to try to break themselves out of the 9 to 5 rat race that like a
Oh,
lot of us are dealing with day to day. But that's inspiring.
oh
That's
no,
dope.
listen.
Thank you. Thank you.
These kids figured it out, bro.
Yeah, they figured it out. Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. These kids out here getting money. I know kids. There, there's a lot of 16-year-old millionaires out there off of just
Man, ooh, that
hustle.
sounds good.
I believe you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, listen, I do down like some of this music they listen to is trash, but they have figured out a way to break the chain of like working the 9 to 5, and stuff like that. Like they're figuring it out. Like they're to the point where, they gonna have something different going on. I got faith in them in that regard in terms of like utilizing this virtual world that we live in. They know how to do.
Mhm.
You got 12-year-old what is it like the people who make the codes,
The coding.
Coders.
yeah, right, 12-year-old kids. They've taken classes over the summer. They building websites, they building apps,
Mm-hmm.
like these this is their world, right? Like we probably stepped out, I mean, I'm probably telling my age, but I don't really care. But we stepped in it a little bit. We was, we came in it like, I know how to do research. I grew up on encyclopedias. I'm an 80s baby, so I know how to research, but then, computer comes, I get to like middle school somewhere in there. But like my daughter is 5. Like this is her world. Like this is everything's virtual. It's gonna be virtual to her, like so. But they're figuring it out. Like they definitely, out there, doing some different things, man.
Mm.
So getting back to hip hop, this is a great conversation, man.
Definitely.
Definitely. This is great. I want to. So I want to know what your thought is about hip hop, ownership of hip hop, right? Like the thing about it is this thing came from dirt, came from nothing. Well, let me say this. If you look at the origins of hip hop, probably it goes back to Africa. Some people, will say, hey, hip hop came from Jamaica, to like in that route. And then kind of transformed itself to, in New York, right? It's many stories, you can ask anybody, but sticking to, let's say the time frame of this, let's say 70 something into the 80s, right? It came from this place where we were putting things together, like literally scraps. Like we take old radios and stuff like that, and we put it together. We break dance, we graffiti, and all these type of things, right? It's our DNA, right? It's ours. But obviously, to make it global, we have had some help in getting it global, i.e., people like Sylvia Rome, like these record execs and stuff like that, who didn't necessarily know the culture, but they invested in it. But at the same time, in down the line, I feel like we lost the ownership of hip hop. It's like we don't own it anymore. It's one of those things where, like we don't control the record sales. We don't even know, like, especially in this digital age, like we don't know what that even is. So how do you feel? Like, do you think we own hip hop? Is it something that we still have, or we just lost it and they have it?
Yeah, I feel like we lost full control, because I think what it was, this is my opinion, like when hip hop first came out, people, they didn't think it was gonna last. You know what I'm saying?
True. That was a fad.
It surprised a lot of people. So at that time, it was basically whoever was the best could get on the radio. But you had so many groups like Public Enemy and Rakim and BDP. They had a lot of messages and content, even going up into Pac and Nas. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like once they figured out how to monetize it, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, now this gonna be around for a while. So you see hip hop all around, on the TVs, on the commercials, the slang is global. It's here to stay, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the people that own it and control it and run it is not us at all. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So and I think that's I don't know, kind of a reflection of our culture. Like as Black people in America, a lot of times we feel like we need validation from other groups of people, or we need another group of people to stamp us and let us know that we can be great. Even if we had the greatest idea, they was doing that when we was inventing stuff. We had to, like Garrett Morgan, he's from Cleveland, for example. He invented the gas mask and a stoplight. But when he was trying to sell it to different people, they wouldn't buy it because he was Black. So he had to pay a white person, to an actor, to act like, oh, this is my invention. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll buy it now. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that been going on for so long, and we still got this, like our parents, like my parents, their generation, like, well, you need white people to make it to a certain degree. We don't feel like we could just stand on our own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us.
Bro, you've been in you've been listening to our conversations, bro. Like I promise you, we were just talking about this earlier, man. How they, man, I was thinking about this guy named Grant. I think his name is Granville.
T. Woods.
Yes. Thank you. And how I want to say, because I was doing my research, I know that I want to say that Thomas Edison was trying to sue him over some things that he invented, and Thomas Edison lost, and then he turned around and he tried to hire him, and he politely told him just in different words. It was like, he was like, listen, I'm not coming to work for you. If I'm going to steal, I'd rather lose and steal for myself, because basically Thomas Edison was, a crook,
a gangster,
just jacking, stealing all types of patents and stuff like that, but we were talking about that, not just in general, like how, that's the blueprint of this country,
Before you go further, Clint, American history. There you go.
Right. I mean, it's just one of them things, like, it's just a lot of thievery, a lot of pillaging, stuff like that. And, that's what I was talking about when I was speaking about that Criminal Minded album cover. Hip hop is all over the place. You don't even know it. Who was saying my bad before we started? Now it's like the natural thing to say.
Yep.
Who was saying hoodie? I know we invented hoodie, that word hoodie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that comes from our, so there's a lot of things blended, not even blended, man. It's everything, a lot of things off the bats about people that's just snatched and like threaded into America to the point where they just don't even know where the origin came from. We the blueprint of cool in this country. We go back to jazz, kind of club. We would, I guarantee these people trying to figure out, like, man, how these people broke and they dress like.
Man, you got to go beyond country. The country, not just this country. We're the birth of cool for this world.
Yeah.
Without us, the world wouldn't move around. We are God's chosen people, man. The world would not move.
Because we create so much stuff so fast. Because back in the 90s and the 80s, we would use certain words and then they'd catch on to you. Like, we stopped saying that like 10 years ago. But now we got the internet, so they could just tap in and be like, oh, that's a new word or this. Then you'll see somebody on ESPN or something.
Right.
You'd be like, somebody told him to say that. He don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right, man. Yeah. So I guess we're in agreement that we don't own hip hop. I think that. Would you think that the digital era is a good way to I guess get back ownership?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, but it could be. It's gonna take some work either way. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it's easier or it'd be harder. Because it's just so much is changing so fast. But I think it's a good opportunity for people to be independent and stand on their own and see what they made of without necessarily having to get validation from people who not even really from the same community or the same audience. You can have more control. Like, I'm gonna post this on my page and get a response from it. I'm gonna post this on my my channel or whatnot.
Man, and that's the one thing that we messing up at. Validation. I be telling Trem all the time about the Oscars and Grammys. Like, why are we waiting for them, man, to try to validate who we are? Like, you look at an LL Cool J. We already told you was nice back in '86.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we told you that. Like, I always think about, when you talk about hip hop, I think about hip hop as being like, so what, in the neighborhood, it's like an election happens. And in this election, we nominate you to be the one to represent us out there. So we already gave you the validation that you should be out, like that you nice. But then you need all these Grammys, and you don't need that. That's fine, they give it to you, cool, but you shouldn't need that. But a lot of people, like you said, they need that, and that's just human nature, I think, at the end of the day. Some people just need to be told that they're that nice, but that's just what it is. But it's all right. So hip hop ain't ours. I think we lost it. But I actually, what? It could be that it belongs to the people now. It's not necessarily a cultural thing. It's probably more like a feeling.
I think it's more so like that too. Like, I think it's just now it's been embedded so much into the fabric of the world that it's a little bit of everybody now. It's like we've taken a piece of it and just made each of it our own. And so it's made the world go round, and everybody around the world has taken a little bit of it and attached it to themselves. So now it's just embedded into just everybody's DNA, just some kind of touch of it, some kind of way, and some kind of form or fashion. People are reverting back to, the hip hop culture somewhere in some kind of form or fashion. It might not be, it might be a different part of it, but some part of it, I think, is making people to be like, that they feel that it's a part of them. That's just what I believe.
And pardon me, man. I know I might talk a lot. Man. I get it.
It's all good, man. I'm enjoying it.
So back to your travels. Man. And I know these places you've been to your babies. Can you pick a favorite?
My favorite, man. That's tough, man. Africa is definitely my favorite continent. Okay. I've been to about 20, roughly 15 to 20 African countries, but man, Africa is so diverse. It's the most genetically diverse continent in the world, man. Africa got more countries than any other continent, man. The countries, the animals, the landscapes, the people, just very, very beautiful. We just generalize Africa so much. Like if it's a war in Nigeria, people be like, oh, Africa is a war over there, or if it's a
Right.
disease in this country, they kind of painted the whole continent, you know?
That's crazy, man. You're right though. And man, when you go to what's it just slipped my mind. Rich, man, it's a lot of money out there. I can't even think of the name of this
Is
country.
it Dubai?
Dubai, yes.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I've had a chance. I got close to Dubai. I went to Bahrain instead, but that was the military travel.
Oh, okay,
Bahrain was nice. Bahrain was nice. Definitely a different experience.
Anything you brought back that you know that you have in the house that you know you kind of cherish?
No, not really, man. I travel so light. I'll be giving all that stuff away or selling it because I don't want to get attached. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always see, you know what I'm saying? I always see something amazing. Like every time I go to a different country, I'll be buying chess sets and masks and all type of stuff, man. It's cool. Just an amazing experience.
There's one thing, man, I want to touch base with you with. I remember doing a little bit of research on you, man. I saw in one of your interviews that you had mentioned that you had traveled to Ghana, and you spoke about how unique and like you know how much you felt like at home, especially with it being like close to where where the ships for the slave ships, they departed from there, taking a lot of our people from there. And it's funny that you mentioned Ghana because my wife, she's passed now, but her father was from Ghana, and she had a chance to go back, and she saw she had been inside the slave prisons and everything before they housed a lot of slaves before they set them out on the ships. And she said like how that she felt the pains and everything of like our people going through that, and it was just really like a liberating experience. So with Ghana, did it have a big cultural significance to you as well when you went there?
Yeah, definitely. I think it does for most of the African Americans that return. It's a sense of closure. It's hard to put it in words, when you enter the slave dungeons and you walk through the door of no return, you can feel a certain type of energy. And there's other parts of Africa where you feel things and you see things, and sometimes it's almost indescribable. But I think it's important because a lot of misconceptions are cleared up because we're taught one thing about Africa and slavery. But when you go to Ghana, you can hear their side of it. You can learn about the people that were fighting back and trying to stop slavery. We kind of got this idea that all Africans were slave traders and they all sold everybody out, when that wasn't necessarily the case. You know what I'm saying? Africa,
gotcha.
Like I say, it's so diverse. It's thousands of ethnic groups. Like Ethiopia is one country. They got almost 90 ethnic groups. You feel what I'm saying? We call them tribes or whatever, but that kind of diminishes the significance of that group of people. They had kingdoms, not the 50 countries that we see today. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Boy, definitely. Beautiful people, man. Beautiful people, man. It's you see, people see like different old movies that will describe what Africa is, and but man, the people are there, beautiful people. I mean, just the traditions, that are there, that are, just man, I love just sitting down talking to a lot of people that are from there. I have a friend that's from Ghana too. She's like, Clint, you got to come. So that's one of my things. I got to make sure that I plan, because it ain't nothing for her to get up and go to Ghana. She's in America, but it ain't nothing. She was just like, listen, let me know. I get that plane ticket. She got family out there. So, but yeah, like it says, it's, it definitely, tribes is a good way to explain. But I want to ask you something about like just kind of sticking on tribes like that. A lot of people, like I always look at, when we look at, in America, just seeing like gangs and the way we choose to gather together. Young people choose to gather in America. With your travels to Africa versus seeing how we are in America, what correlation do you see? You know, like what are the similarities that you see in the people there, young people there versus America?
I mean, you see a lot of things that are similar. I mean, you see people that look like people you know when you go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like people like they look like my cousin or my brother or my friend or somebody, and that's all around Africa. So a lot of times when I'm in African countries, people, you know, they don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Like say if I go into a store and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, how much is this? Then they'll hear my voice and my accent. They'll be like, oh, where you from?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I'm from America. Then they be like, oh, okay. So your mom is from, your parents are from here. And I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm African American. So, you know, definitely the resemblance, you know, the dances, like you say, the music, you see elements of African music and culture in our music, in hip hop, in jazz, in rhythm and blues, and, you know, all of that stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And even some of the ways that we had to cook our food and prepare our food just to survive, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot more in common than we realize, but you
Right.
know, we don't really know our own history and what happened to us in America, let alone what happened in 50 or 60 different countries in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have a huge identity crisis, man, which is sad amongst all of us, amongst us as a people. Which we have a big identity crisis where we're still trying to find out who we are and just trying to connect.
Definitely.
Question, man. Has any of your other family members, like your siblings or your parents, have they had a chance to go back to Africa as well?
I have some cousins that have went. My uncle went to Africa. They was going before me, so you know,
Definitely.
my one cousin, she studied abroad. She lived in Africa, so they were definitely, you know, of influence. And they always had
Nice.
positive stories. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
look at the
good.
news, man. All you see is rape, murder, and
All the
disease. But
time. Yeah, they
they
make sure
came
they point
back,
that out.
you know.
You know what the news is. It's a tool, so you know that right there is just something to kind of brainwash you a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is. Is it anything? Is it anything when you went to Africa? Is it anything that you were like what was that first thing you was like, wow, I got like it just blew your mind? Like what was that?
Well, let me see. The first time I went to Africa was in like 2012, 2013, I believe. So at that time, it really wasn't a lot of content online. You know, that was almost 9 years ago. So the things that I did look up on South Africa, like I said, was AIDS and rape and a bunch of negative stuff. So it wasn't a lot of positive things. So I knew somebody that was living there and they invited me. And I went to Cape Town. That's the first place I went in South Africa. And when I got there, you know, the airports, the malls, the roads were paved. You know, they had Benzes and BMWs and Bentleys. I seen Bentleys in Africa. I seen African people that had on regular clothes. You know, they read Nike and name brand stuff, beautiful women. So it just all hit me at once. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't
Definitely.
expecting to see that. I was expecting to see something more primitive and more, you know what I'm saying, behind the camera.
I hear you. Yeah, they play that mind control with us, where we it's like we have some kind of preconceived idea of what Africa is, but it's totally different from. And I've never been to Africa, and it's definitely a place I definitely would love to see. God willing, that I have a chance to see that in the future. But I'm pretty sure that talking to people that I've met that are from Africa is not, from compared to what they're saying, it's not like what we think it is in our minds at all.
Ooh, you got to be careful in Africa than women, bruh. Bruh. Like, I mean, are you single?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, see, you having fun out there, bro. Listen.
Yeah. Oh man, the most beautiful women you gonna see, because it's real diverse. It's like,
Yeah.
imagine we live in North America, right? You go from America to Mexico to Canada to Jamaica to Haiti to Dominican Republic. Those places are totally different, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier, like you go from New York to LA, that's different. You feel me? To
Right.
Miami to Chicago, those places are different. Africa, like 20 times more diverse than that. You got women with straight hair, long hair, short hair, curly hair, dark skin, mixed, brown skin, light skin. You know, it's amazing. And the people is very friendly, very hospitable, very welcoming. Because I know a lot of times we hear Africans don't like us. That's the number one thing I hear.
Yeah.
But from my experience and living in America my entire life, I never, and it may be different in different cities and different states, I never heard a Black American say, I was walking down the street and I got robbed by some Africans, or I got jumped by some Africans, or Africans did a drive-by on my house, or, you know, some of the things that we see other groups of people, even ourselves, do to each other. I never seen Africans doing those things to African Americans. You know, I'm not saying it never happened, but you know.
Got you. Talk to me about I think it's Black of the Berry, right? Black of the Berry song that you got. Is that filmed here in the United States, or?
Yeah, I filmed that back at the crib. I was at home in my city. It's a restaurant called Black Wall Street. It's a very beautiful place.
Wow.
It looks good. That's what I was about to say. That restaurant looks good, man.
Yep, it's in the hood too, man.
Okay.
It's on Kingsman, 93rd. So they got a lot of pictures, and you know, for people viewing, they could check out the video. But they got a lot of pictures of, you know, strong Black men and women throughout the restaurant. But I chose to, you know, kind of highlight the women, you know, for the concept of the video. You know, the Black of the Berry is basically just me giving respect to Black women, letting them know that they are beautiful, they are loved, they are respected. You know, they are admired. You know, it's primarily for the dark skin, but it's for brown skin, light skin, mixed, whatever. Just a Black person, you know, a Black woman. Let them know that we love them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely go to his YouTube and check it out. So is it Sade Renee?
Yeah.
How did you?
Sade Renee.
Yeah, how did you link up with her?
Oh, she from around the way, so I know her. She real cool, very talented. She do paintings and sing and acting. Really? She do everything. Yeah,
that's dope, man.
Oh yeah, I you know she you know, well, I'm gonna tell you straight. I you know, my wife is very chocolate. You know, I love chocolate women. You know, that's just always been my preference. You know, when she, you know, a lot of time when you see videos, you know, I don't feel like we see enough. I need to see, you know, people her complexion all over. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I could dig it.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. And she, you know, said like she has this thing about her that I was kind of like, it's, you know how some people like you just see it on them. You know, like, you know, she has something on her that I can't even, you know, explain, but, you know, it's probably more confidence. You know, do you get that from, is that something that you like, you get from her? Like what made you put her on this song?
Man, I'm telling you, she just amazing, and you could see it from the video. She's very talented. Like I say, she do a little bit of everything, and she good at it though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
she cool. She a real cool, respectable person. You know, beautiful and everything.
Nice, man. I like I said, shout out to her. I mean, I definitely, I wouldn't mind interviewing her as well. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell her how I let you.
Yeah, because she's dope, man. You know, we got 2 podcasts. You know, we got one called obviously Chordroom. Me and Trim, you know, we put together podcasts about the culture. You know, we got the Chordroom, and then we also have the collab. Kind of like it's 2 females on there. Shout out to Jay Sheree, Taye, and also Walt. But it's more of a, you know, it's gonna deal with relationship and stuff like that. We also do, you know, we got this game that we play, you know, called Ultra Black. So whenever you get a chance, check that out. But, you know, we're really big on like trying to educate, you know, Black people in a fun way, you know, and I like the way it kind of reminds, like when I think about that, it reminds me of what you're doing, educating people, being real passionate about your travels and trying to educate people. Like, listen, America is it's not just America. It's all about the world. Black people are the world. You know, if you really study, we are more than just the United States, man. We are everything to this planet. Everything. What do you see yourself 10 years with that message? Like, what do you plan on seeing yourself do and spreading that message around the world? Like, what do you see yourself doing?
Man, just trying to continue to share positive content about our history and our people. Continue to travel, continue to network and build. Continue to try to give back to the community. You know, I'm always socially active. Try to create more institutions and more opportunities to help empower people. Like in 2016, I co-founded a food cooperative. You know, I'm trying to get more into cooperative economics. I want to do a land co-op, a farming co-op. You know, I want to do more of that. I done volunteered at orphanages, community centers, did a lot of tutoring, you know, doing back to school drives, doing Christmas drives, doing winter drives, giving away hats and gloves, and, you know, just different things. I'm doing something now where we sending books to people in prison. You know, some people don't get mail. They don't have a family to send them anything. So, you know, just trying to hit every, you know, plant seeds all over, man, and maybe I can inspire or motivate or, you know, empower some of my people globally.
So that's dope, man. It's a dope way to get to connect with your culture and give back to the community. I respect that.
Right.
Thank you.
It's inspiring, man. It's inspiring, man. Knowing that Cleveland has a superhero.
Oh wow, thank you. I appreciate that.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, your superheroes don't wear capes, man. Not, you know, it's people out there that do small things that will, you know. I got a lot of, me personally, I have a lot of my OGs in my neighborhood still in me. Like, they're in me. Like, they took 5 minutes to tell me that you more than just who you think you are. 5 minutes. And that seed is still growing in me, man. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it ain't nothing but a small conversation. It ain't nothing but, you know, hey, listen, you ain't, you know, here's something, like, here's some money. You know, take this book. You know, go read something. You know, get your head right. You know, we used to, it was certain books that was floating around my neighborhood that everybody was reading. You know, from the Malcolm X biographies, you know, to even like, you know, just like a lot of the Black art, like, you know, like Native Son, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like, you know, but that's cool, man. Like, because we want to do things like that as well. And I see yourself, you know, well, let me ask you, what do you see what do you see yourself as? Like, when you know, like, what do you see yourself as? Because I like I said, I look, you know, the things you told me, man, you like a superhero, man. You giving education to the people. What do you see yourself as?
Man, I mean, I try to be regular, you know what I'm saying, like a regular person, and blend in and just help any way I can. You know what I'm saying?
Humble.
So very humble.
That's the best person.
Yo, Clint, man, I gotta say this, man. You mentioned about superheroes with no capes, but we learned that from the Incredibles, man. They don't have to wear capes. They don't wear capes. It's dangerous.
Right, exactly, man. Like, you know, like, listen, because, you know, listen, they don't want no superheroes in the Black neighborhood. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
They locking up the superheroes, man.
Right, they're locking them up or taking them out some kind of way.
Yeah, they locking them up. Sometimes, like you said, you got to be regular. Sometimes you got to be Clark Kent all the time, man. You gotta be Clark. You don't want nobody to know you got the superpowers. Even your own people hate on your superpowers.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
Man, it's dangerous to be in the Black man, bro. I tell you, you can't even do good. People hate on you for doing that. It's just crazy, man. But man, I promise you, we ain't gonna hold you too long tonight. I mean, I know, like I said, we could be talking all night, but I'm gonna tell you what I see when I see you, bro. When I hear from you, I see you as a, you know, not only a person who cares about people, but you're a great resource.
Definitely.
You know, you're a great resource, and a lot of us don't have resources. we don't have anybody regular to come to, but like, yo, listen, I'm trying to start this.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, let me help you out then. Come, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the beautiful thing is that you have a lot of like, it's a splashes of errors in you. You got the 60s, you know, like with the, you know, black movement, you know, with the Black Power movement, you know, you have, you know, the 80s in you. You know, it's like whoever was around you, they planted those seeds and they grew, and you just taking it up and you know, doing what you're supposed to do. I commend you for that, man. That's just real.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man, and I commend y'all. I'm loving the show, man. I like what y'all doing, no doubt. I gotta give it up, y'all.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. I gotta say this, man. I know I always go by the name TRM for the Renaissance Man, but I gotta give props to you because you are showing an example of what it is to be a modern day Renaissance man by the things that you're doing. You're a lyricist, you're a lyricist, and musician. You are an author. You are an activist. I mean, you're doing a lot of different things. So you're showing everybody how what it means to move in this day and age as a modern day Renaissance man. So kudos to you for what you're doing. But definitely
that came most definitely.
Yeah, we go. You know, with the Chordroom, man. The thing about us is that, like I said, we trying to, you know, shed light on people who are in the dark. You know, those who doing great things, and also trying to create this tree of resources. You know, we got somebody that can draw. We got somebody who create websites. You know, we got somebody, you know, we got people who rap. We got somebody who create, you know, we got several people who are producers. You know, we got we got somebody that can rap. We got somebody who can sing. You know, we got somebody that, you know, that can act. Like we're just trying to make sure that we create this thing where everybody, if you connected to this resource, you can tap in. Hey, Clint, you know somebody who do this, you know somebody who could do that. You know what? And then before you know it, you know, we all, you know, in this digital era, when they Googling us, shoot, your name come up.
Yeah.
You know, what, you know,
definitely.
And we're just trying to, this is, I guess what they call it, group economics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very definition.
Cooperative
very definition of it.
Everybody do a little bit. We'll have a lot, man.
That's how you got to move.
And that's how we survived in this in this country, you know. A little, we take a little, make it a lot, you know. Sure.
So that also leads me to ask, man, so with everything that you're doing, man, I mean, do you have people that's helping to support you in the causes that you're doing, man?
Yeah, I have family and friends. You know how it is. I got some family and friends, man. They love everything I do. They try to support any and every way they can. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that definitely keep me motivated.
That's awesome. That's all. And you know, whatever we can do to support you, we here. You know what I'm saying? And you know, whatever you need, like I said, I do want you to listen to, you know, we got, you know, like I said, we got Dark Ages out, and I want you to listen to that. Like I said, if you need, you know, you working on a project, this is your home now, you know. You know, wherever when you connected to us, we support that, man. We gonna, you know, do what we can. Whatever little we have, you got to. So.
Oh, likewise. I'm gonna definitely holler at Sade, and I know some international cats, man. They'll love to come home. If you want them to take it global, I'll give them your info.
Oh yeah, for real, man. So listen, man, I want, you know, man, I got, man, I just be having questions all over the place. We'll do a part 2 to this, you know what I'm saying? Because I really wanted to put your hip hop knowledge to the test next time.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do that next time, man. You know, like I said, this ain't gonna be the last time you're gonna be on. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, Sherm, you got any last words, anything, man?
Nope. I was able to answer my questions and then get my information that I want to know, and just, you know, it was just a blessing to be a part of this conversation, man. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely, man. So listen, on the behalf of the Chordroom, man, we like to thank you for coming on, bro. We appreciate you.
Likewise.
You got anything before we go? You got anything you want to tell them, like where you could get, like anything that you got coming up?
Oh yeah. I just want to shout everybody out. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I truly appreciate y'all. Thanks to the core room. Man, it's been an honor and a pleasure. We definitely gonna link again. If anybody have any questions, if they need help with anything, travel information, my book, my music, my website. I do genealogy too. So if people interested in tracing they want to go into the 1800s, the 1700s. You know, we find census records, birth certificates, death certificates, news articles, old pictures, things like that. I'm a historian. That's what I love to do. So reach out. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. My website is CAMP, Cleveland.org.
Man, your new name is Uhuru the Guru. That's the Guru, man. So listen, man, like I said, this has been awesome, man. I feel like it's probably one of my best interviews. And, you know, I said, we appreciate everybody growing with us, knowing with us, you know what I'm saying? Like getting that knowledge with us. So we appreciate it. You know, and thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe. Like I said, we got the Chordroom Podcast. We got Collab. You know, we giving content for the free 99, you know. Like, subscribe, all that rhetoric that that everybody says, man. You know, we record from the heart. We edit these things from the heart, you know, and we we just putting it out there for the people. You know what I'm saying? So listen, it's the Core Room. We out. Good morning.
Peace.
Good night.
Good luck.
Good luck.